Hi guys, welcome to a studio/desk tour. So this is going to be a pretty chill video. I moved apartments recently, so we're just gonna check out the new space. This was it before I decorated. I decided not to film all the decorating, I just thought it would take too long. So I'll give you a tour now it's set up. Starting off with the little shelves. I tried to organize my stuff a little bit into each shelf. It's not super set up yet, and I'll go into more of this in some more detail in a bit, but this is just a general overview of what it looks like. So down on the actual little desk part itself, I have my little clay Snoopy I made. He holds my pencils because I always lose them. So a little 360 on this little guy. Yeah, he's just made out of polymer clay. I was inspired to make him by the guy on TikTok that made his little Wallace and Gromit that holds his pencils. Anyway, so I have my Faber-Castell pencils on the desk because I use them so much, and then I have this really cute Snoopy mug. I bought it from Typo, and I just use it to hold my paintbrushes. It's pretty cute, and so that's just a little ceramic mug. And then just for the aesthetic, I put my Liquitex acrylic paint my Liquitex acrylic ink bottles behind it, the black and red, because it matches his little collar and nose. But yeah, I use these inks primarily for my watercolors because they don't smudge with water. And then I have my little pins, which I use to stick up all of my stuff, and my fountain pen is in that wooden box. I have all of my little swatches from my Ohuhu markers, the 300 something set, and then my swatch for my Staedtler pencils. Then I have these, and I made this little system that I saw off Pinterest, where if you use a bulldog clip and a pin, you can just sort of hook them on and off, so it turns it kind of into a little pin board, like pegboard kind of thing, because I couldn't bring my pegboard with me, so it's in storage. But yeah, so that's just a really simple system for me to be able to take my paints on and off the wall. And I did something similar with the masking tapes that just comes off, and then again with the paint palette, and I'm surprised this actually held. So the paints I use are Liquitex acrylic basics as well as Chromacal paints, and I just use the primary colors plus white and black. And then I have my little color wheel and my masking tape, which is just showing that you can take it off. And so this is kind of how it works. You just take it off the little hook, and here's me failing at putting it back on because I'm filming at the same time. But yeah, so that's my little setup for the pin board, and I think it's really cute because it's got all the colors on it. And then on my desk I just have a lot of my most used art supplies and stuff. So yeah, I thought I'd put my paints up. I always have my paints on display just because I think they're one of the prettiest things. And yeah, so I organized all of my little swatch sheets up there, so if I'm ever using my markers I don't have to look far or lose them to find out what colors are what. And I've got my Mac set up. So I use my Mac mainly for like editing videos and stuff like that. But I've got my gouache and my sharpener and my little plants. But yeah, so my Mac, this is it. I just use it. I use CapCut to edit my videos, so I've got my mouse, and I prefer this little Logitech keyboard. I just like it more. And so yeah, so this is the video I'm currently voiceovering for. But so yeah, I just edit on my Mac. And then I have this little jade bear that I got in Canada. My nan bought it for me when we were in a jewelry shop, and it was the cutest little jade bear, and I said to her, I love that. And then we came all the way back from Canada, and she surprised me with it on my birthday. So it's got a little salmon in its mouth, but I love it so much. It's so adorable, and it matches the color of my Mac, so he lives there. Yeah, so this is the shelves again. I've got a lot of little plants kind of scattered around. This is what I use to film my TikToks. I just have my little camera holder. Up the top I have a lot of plants, and I have my little paint bucket, water bucket, my sticky notes, my handbag, and some of my books. So these are my Heartstopper books and The Book Thief and some other books. But But yeah, so you might notice the difference in the camera quality. It's because I got a new camera, so I'm using part of this is old footage, part of it's new footage, so it's pretty like tossed up. Anyway, so I have my other Ohuhu markers, my little packs in there. Anyway, going back to the plants, I have little devil's ivy, so pothos for anyone that might be wondering, and I keep it in water because they can be aquatic or they can live in soil, and I always tend to not know when to water them. So by keeping them in little glass bottles, first of all, the roots can photosynthesize in the sun, but also it means I can see when I need to refill their little water, and it's practically impossible to kill them then. So I have some in like fancy bottles I collect, so like the little wine bottles you can get on little like flights or holiday trips, and I collect all the really cute little mini bottles and I just put plants in them. So I just like cut a little clipping off my other ones when they get really big. I've also got a Voss water bottle for some of my bigger ones, but yeah, so I just keep all my glasses and I think it looks pretty good. So I've got all my little pothos plants, they came with me. I do love them a lot, so they keep me happy and they add some green to my little setup. So in the first shelf is where I keep just some of my art supplies. So I have these 2 pencil cases, and I should probably start with the stuff at the front. So this little blue thing is so basically it's what I use to finish off sketchbook spreads. What it does is you can put regular paper into it and it rounds the corners for you by cutting them. So it pushes down, it has this little part that pushes down and cuts the paper to a rounded size, and because I use a Moleskine sketchbook, they have rounded edges, I use that. And then I have these Himi paintbrushes, and they came in this really adorable container, but the container, the bottom of it didn't have a bottom to it, and I wanted to be able to hang it, so I created this little tape base for it where I used some paper. So now it acts as like a little case, and I keep my Himi brushes in there along with a couple other small brushes I use for gouache. And I just thought it was such a cute container and I wanted to keep using it, so I made it into a proper container. And then I have some of my watercolors. I'm not 100% sure on the brand of these, but they're just some of my more basic watercolors. I have some Posca pens that I keep in an old Keynote card case, so like flashcard case, which I reused into a Posca pen holder because it opens up and it's just the perfect size. Then I have my Ohuhu markers, the little packs, so I have a 36 and a 24 pack, and I just keep them there. And then behind my watercolors is where I keep my Faber-Castell Pitt pens. So this is basically a really big pack of Pitt pens that I think I got all the way back in like middle school or something for my birthday. And so basically they are these kinds of pens, and there's a whole range of different colors, and it stands up like that. And so they're brush pens. I don't know if you can really see that, but and so yeah, they're just called the Faber-Castell Pitt artist pens. I really love Faber-Castell. And then in this pencil case is where I keep my Copic markers, or Copic, or however you say it. And yeah, so that's what I keep in this little shelf. And then I have my little plant, and yeah, and then that's all of it. Moving on to the next little like section is this one, the middle one. So this is where I keep my Moleskines, both my past Moleskines and my ones for the future, that I bought on sales, so I have like a bunch of them. And this is a little wooden dugong that my friend got me that I take with me everywhere to every setup I have. This little piglet plushie is something that I won in a claw machine while I was out with my friends. And then these are my pop figures, so, you know, keep them around because they're pretty funky. I have a Scarlet Witch one, a Venom one, and a Black Widow one, so a bit of a Marvel fan. Yeah, and then So up here is where I keep my little chameleon. I got him from a zoo trip that I went on with friends as well. And then the last thing left on this shelf is my little collection of Faber-Castell sharpeners. So these are only on sale about once a year. They're only sold about once a year, so I always buy a bunch of them when I can because they're the perfect size. They're tiny and I just love them because they fit in anything. Yeah, and there's my Moleskines again. I just brought my Moleskines with me because my other sketchbooks, there's too many of them. Yeah, so, and I think my Moleskines are my more recent ones. In the last little section, the last little shelf is where I keep a majority of my stuff. These are my Caran markers, my Ardex markers, my Prismacolors, and a couple other things. So I'll go into all of that. The little teddy that I have up here, I've had since I was about 3 years old. His name is Church Dog or Puppy, and he's just been with me for a long time, so he gets a special spot on the shelf. And yeah, so I've got my ring light up there and my Mod Podge, so all my different kinds of Mod Podge for different things. So if you didn't know, Mod Podge makes a selection of different stuff for different purposes. And then I also have my Caran markers, my Prismacolor pencils. So these are my Prismacolors, it's the 72 pack and I just keep them in a tin. I also have this brand new Pitt Matte Graphite pencils from Faber-Castell, and basically they don't have any shine to them, so they'd be really good for if you're filming and don't want the reflection. Under Puppy I have my Tombow brush pens. I cannot pronounce the other name of these. I'm just going to reinsert him in his little perch. And then here I have my Ardex markers. I think that's a 36 pack. They're brush pens. And then these are my Caran markers. And then this is my little red panda I got from the zoo. This is my Prismacolor sharpener. It's kind of just a little bit decor at the moment. I have a better sharpener I use. And then I have some really cheap mini detail brushes for painting. Let me just rescue that leaf. And then in here is where I keep my Faber-Castell pencils, some more pencils, and then my Faber-Castell polychromes. Then up in the back I have some gesso. Yeah. So that is it for my little studio tour, and thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope to see you all again at my next video. Okay, bye!